Emmanuel Community.
Welcome to Celebrate Aging. I'm Vicki Marthaler, your hostess today, and I have a delightful crew with me for this next 10 minutes. This is Shirley Gunderson, and this is Shar Christensen. So we are going to talk to these two ladies because they have a very vital, vibrant connection to Emmanuel, and we're going to talk about that. But first, I want to announce that Shirley not only is a past employee, a former alumni employee of Emmanuel, but she has the grand honor of being our 3,000th resident. I didn't even know they kept tabulations like that. So did like confetti fall from the ceiling or balloons?
I had a surprised look on my face, that's for sure.
Well, that's awesome, Shirley. So you came because you had a surgery?
Yes, a hip replacement.
And so you came to our transitional care unit.
Right.
And how did all that go?
Well, being a former LPN of Emmanuel, I wanted to go home, so I did.
So
I told them, I wanted to return to Emmanuel for the transitional care.
Okay.
I knew it would be good.
And so the therapist worked with you, and now you are home.
I'm home now.
So you've graduated from therapy.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about when you worked here as an LPN. Can I say how long ago that was?
Oh, yeah. I was a nurse's aide for a couple of years, 73 and 74, and then went to school, 74, 75, and then came back and worked until I retired in 95.
Wow. So now I understand that you and Shar was the director of nursing at the time, so that's how you two did you know each other before then?
No.
Sure.
No, I don't believe had ever met before then. But
All right.
You become friends when you work with someone for quite a while.
Yes. Now, Shar, you were director of nursing for how long here at Emmanuel?
I was the director for 17 years.
For 17 years. That's a long time.
It's a very long time.
I mean, I kind of know it's a stressful job. It's kind of amazing that...
I was actually here for 30.
Really?
But I was Lee Ferber's assistant.
Okay.
And then the last 3 years, or close to 3 years, I taught nursing assistants, and that was good.
So you've done a little bit of everything, and you know, Emmanuel has changed a little bit since you were director of nursing and since you were an LPN. What kind of changes have you seen, Shirley?
So huge, it's getting much larger, but
yes, the campus has grown, absolutely.
But the care is still as good now as it was in those days, and I know we were all committed and really felt close to our residents, and I see the same thing now.
I have a feeling just by hearing all the stories before we started taping that you were not only close to the residents, you were close to each other.
Oh, we had a good time. We did. We worked hard, but we enjoyed each other. In fact, we were each other's support, I think. When somebody was having a bad day, somebody else would help you out and pick you up and encourage you.
Shar, what are some of the big changes in nursing that you've seen over the time now that you began in nursing, and now you still come and visit and you're still connected with some of the people here, so what are some of the bigger changes?
The bigger changes that people would notice, I think, are things like record keeping, everything going from pencils and pens to the computer. I think that one of the really big things is the residents themselves are more educated. They know more about their conditions and so on. They ask questions. An awful lot more medicine, many more medications. I mean, if you knew a few, you did pretty well. Now you have to know a lot.
You have to keep up.
You have to keep up.
You have to keep up with that, absolutely. So Shirley, when you were in the hospital, you made sure that, because there are choices then where you can go for therapies, right?
Right. And I made the choice before I went in for surgery and had it be known to the doctors and the people that took care of that.
So when you were then done at the hospital, when you were told that you were able to go, then you came right here to Emmanuel,
It was all automatic, and Emmanuel picked me up, and I progressed from there.
So you must have been a good patient and listened to the therapist then, so that you were able to graduate and
I
go
think
home.
I'd better.
So you had LPNs and RNs and nursing assistants and therapists. You got the housekeeper. There's all kinds of people
Yeah.
to meet in the transitional care, isn't there?
And as Charlotte said, so many more departments and so enlarged, so that every facet of your recuperation is covered. And it's all set up before you even get in here. They know you as a person and as a patient both.
Yes, the social worker kind of screens and talks to you about expectations and
Right.
how it's all going to go. So is there, would you recommend Emmanuel?
Oh, very definitely. Anytime, all the time.
We have Emmanuel alumni here. That's what
Yeah.
I like about it. That's what I like about it.
When you talk about being bigger, when I started, we had 104 beds.
104.
And then we added the unit that I think it's Oak now. It was 44 beds. No, well, whatever it was, 44 beds. And now with the whole campus, it's way more.
Well, I think Lamplighter was built when you were here.
Lamplighter was here, but nothing. But Madison was not here, nor was the lodge or the
cottage.
cottage.
Yep.
I mean, it's changed a lot.
It
and
has
it's
changed
very,
a lot.
very, and a lot of single rooms instead of double rooms, and it's so nice to not have to have a roommate that you've never met before.
Absolutely, absolutely. Currently, right now, we have 90 private rooms. And
That's wonderful.
that is wonderful. There's a couple of lanes that have totally gone private and or single. I'm not sure quite how you're supposed to say it, single or private, but it
Depends on
is.
the bathroom.
You have elbow room. You have elbow
Right.
room.
Exactly, and privacy, and for family, it's nice.
Yes, it's very nice. And I think that is a trend, and Emmanuel is still considering to create more private rooms even yet this year, because it's just one of those things. People are, as you say, the residents who are coming in, and number one, are more educated, understanding more about their diagnosis and just the different things that are going on with them and the medications. But also, they just are requiring more space. They are not content to share a room with someone and have roommates after. So it's just one of those things that people are wanting to have their own space, which I think is good.
Oh, yes,
I
I
want
would.
my own space.
I do too.
I imagine that was something that Charlotte would have appreciated very much, because I imagine when they accepted a patient, two patients in the double room, to have them compatible, like each other ahead of time,
Yes.
it can be a problem.
I think social services can tell us a couple of stories
Yeah.
about finding people that you have to work closely and do a lot of problem solving. But for many years, that's the way it was. That's the way it was. One of the things that I've noticed about nursing, I've been here 16 years, so just a drop in the bucket compared to this. But there was a nurse who sometimes wore a white dress with her hat.
Yeah.
Did you get to wear a hat when you got to be a
Yes,
nurse?
well, they allowed us to wear, we wore dresses or pantsuits.
Okay.
White, with a white cap, yes. White shoes, every day.
Did that change while you were working here? Did they go to colorful scrubs or anything like that?
After I left.
After you left. All right. Did you work here for a while when?
Oh,
when
I
all that-
wore a white dress and I wore a hat, a cap. But then I went to a lab coat and then just regular dress clothes.
So things have changed.
Things have changed.
I think another big thing maybe you've seen as changing too, thinking of residents, is what we call restraints.
Oh, yes.
It used to be that.
Got to protect people by tying them in bed, and it actually was proved people are safer and certainly happier if they have freedom.
Yes. We've all discovered that, and finding out that.
Another thing that's so different is everybody got a meal and it looked the same. I mean, there might be some different things on the tray, but basically it was the same. If it was pork chops, everybody got pork chops. Now you have a choice.
choice.
Choices.
Choices. Hey, we're talking about choices today here at Emmanuel. Shirley chose to come here for therapy following a surgery, and now she's had therapy, and you're back home, and you're doing well. You're still recovering, but you're doing well.
Yes, and I'm missing the camaraderie of the people that work here. Yeah.
It is a fun place to work, and we do offer choices. So, Emmanuel, keep it on the front part of your brain, just in case it happens that you're going to need to come here. We have open doors to you, and we offer choices. This is Vicki wishing you the best.